Yeah, very good. Okay, so we're here with Caitlin, rocking and rolling. She's building an active world team business and beyond. And so I just asked Caitlin, we're doing some mentoring this morning, guys. And I asked Caitlin, are you getting, her plan is 10 3-day trials a month, doing that ideally through one challenge a week. So this would be 4 trial packs out for her personally. And then us getting her other 6 through webbing through those 4, using challenges as the reason to web, right? And so Caitlin was talking to me last week. She's doing a great job. She's got 6 out so far this month through challenges, and she's got another 4 that she's going to get out on Monday of next week. So she's going to nail her plan. So great job, Caitlin. And she's doing a great job working with some team members too. So we're talking about a lot, but I wanted to just record this couple of minutes here because I asked Caitlin the question. It's great that you've got 6 out. We're going for 10, and we see the other 4 by Monday. So, congratulations, you're set up to score and nail your plan. And then I went to the second question, which was, now for these 6, are you doing trials or are you doing challenges? In other words, for the 6, walk me through, who said, oh, I don't know anybody and whatever, and they just used the trial, or that's what they were going to do. You're like, they didn't really work to get a group together. They wouldn't let Caitlin work with them right away to do that. So I said, how much of that is going on in your 6 versus the people that, go to work with you right away and get challengers? So Caitlin, can you answer that again?
Yeah, so I have about half that tell me I want to do trial versus I'm super excited about doing the challenge. So I have Amanda.
Let me pause you there. So about half, but you're not giving them the option, are you?
I don't. When I have the conversation with them, I come at it from, I'm like, hey, we do these in groups. It's super awesome. You're going to get better results. You're going to have more accountability with your friends, and it's just easier to follow through when you're doing it with your friends and family.
Beautiful. What a great pitch, and totally true, but I love the way you language that. Well done. And so some of them, when we say half, you're saying about 50% give you pushback to that.
Yeah.
And don't go build a group with you, and about the other 50% do.
Yes.
Okay, great. So a couple things for you and for everybody. One, I'm happy with a ratio of 20 to 30%. What I'm seeing for me is about 20 to 30% do exactly what you just described. So the challenges that I've done, and I've done 5 of them now since we got out of Mega, so 5 in a month, okay? And I've had 1 person not get anybody, and I've had 3 people or 4. I'd have to look. I don't have the exact numbers, but it's about 30% where you're at about 50%. So that doesn't make me better or anything like that. There could be somebody out there that's like, man, I got 95% of all my guys, do the deal, and we'll get them on here to train us. So and that's my point, Caitlin, is that I think it's just a matter of like riding a bike or shooting free throws. It's the more you do this and the more you language it, you're going to see that number move better than 50%. So let's say, we're working towards like 70, 75% of the people, like 3 out of 4 say, yeah, great. And we go get them a group. But there's always going to be a couple. And as you get better at this, those numbers will shrink. But even if we got as good as we could be, there'd probably be 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 that doesn't, get ignited and go get people or let us help them. Would you agree, Caitlin, that with practice, you think you can probably get to 1 out of 3 instead of 1 out of 2?
Absolutely.
Sure. So tell us now. So great job, by the way, because we're only at this about a month. Remember that from Mega. Remember that it's only about a month, guys. 4 or 5 weeks coming out of this thing. So we're doing great. That's why I wanted to give you this little training today with Caitlin from inside this session. So check this out, guys. You're gonna love this. So Caitlin, whatever the percentage is, when you have someone that says, well, whatever, right? They give you some pushback. I don't know anybody. Whatever the reason is, and they're not going to go get, people, right? Talk to us about what you do then. What do you do with that person?
So then I just shift gears because, my belief, obviously, and from what I've seen within Herbalife as a whole, is just we never want to push them because it's not no, it's just not right now. So then, I just shift gears and I say, no problem. If you change your mind, let me know. We can absolutely help you get a group, and it's definitely going to help you. But if you really want to do it by yourself, no problem. We can absolutely launch you on your own. Would you like to just, or would you like to just join in this other group? You know, I have another group launching. You don't have to get anybody, but you can just join in that group, and you still get to see all of the accountability and be a part of the group and have that group mentality, even though you're not, and you don't have to go talk to people. You don't have to get anybody, but you just still get to be a part of the group.
And that's brilliant. So I learned this from Jerry Graham guys out in Redondo, California, Redondo Beach, who we really worked with their group using the 5-day challenge and the 3-day trial. And together we created this joint hybrid, which is like the cat's meow, right? So I asked Jerry about this. I said, Jerry, we're going to have a percentage of people that just don't move off the dime and won't let us go get a group with them. At least the first time around. Remember, that's all lack of confidence, lack of belief. Once they get results, they're going to tell everybody. Okay, so that's why our job is get them results. And that's why I wanted to do this little mini training with you guys this morning. As I'm looking out, we got freezing fog, okay, as the sun rises on my lake. Unbelievable. Have you ever heard of such a thing? I'm taking the kids to school. We get a warning, right? We're having shakes, guys. Freezing fog. I'm like, wow. Well, then I see it across the lake. I see this whole cloud of like ice crystal just moving, right? It was unbelievable. Anyway, totally off track, but I'm looking out at it right here. So Jerry Graham says, hey, what we do out here, Tim, is everything you just heard Caitlin say. So if a person's not willing to go work with us and get a group, let's put them into a group so that they get connected to the community and they still get all the benefits like Caitlin just went through. You know, you get all the group benefits, but you don't have to go get the group. Now, remember, this is only after they say, I'm not getting anybody, I don't know anybody. Like all of that's been worked through and they're at the point. So, Caitlin, I love what you're doing. Instead of pushing them away, you know, or trying to drive them to do something, we've done our best there. They're not ready to do that. Again, this is a small percentage of the people, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4 is what we're working toward. So what are you going to do? Lose them? No way, right? So I love what you're doing here. And Jerry said, Tim, just put them with a different group. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, don't you have another challenge starting? And I go, well, maybe or maybe not, Jerry. I'm only trying to start 1 challenge a week. So if I get a trial out, but she's not willing to start a challenge, yes, I'll try and get another one going so I stay on track, but I may not have enough time. And so he said, well, no, not just you, like in your club, in your community, don't you have lots of people doing this? I said, well, of course we do. We're all doing this, right? We love it. And he said, no, that's where it doesn't even have to be in the same community. That would be best. So if Caitlin had, Jen, let's say one of her local coaches, and Jen had a challenge getting ready to start. That's the beauty of us all starting on Monday, is that over the weekend you can figure this out. And Caitlin could get with Jen. Let's say she's got Barbara, and Jen's over here a coach, right? And Barbara wants to start on the 3-day challenge, but she's not going to get anybody. She's that 1 out of 3 to 4. But Jen over here in the same community has 3 people in there. So we can put Barbara right in here for a group of 4, and Caitlin can work with Jen to go over with the 3 days. Maybe they even do work the messages together and, are on the Vox together. Like Jen includes Caitlin as a coach, right? So that you can be with your person and follow them through. This is awesome, right? But check this out. What if you guys are working remotely? Or what if you have a challenger that's remote? We can plug them in with any coach anywhere in the United States because it really doesn't matter. Now we're going to have to work out their closing night, their final night close. You're going to have to do that individually probably because they won't be able to come down to an event or whatever. But they could be in Colorado, right? I could have an aunt in Colorado, and I do. She's not on the trial. I'll get her though. It's only been 20 years. I'll get her, okay? So she's in Colorado, and let's say she wants to start the deal. Well, maybe I bring her into one of my groups, but if I don't have a group going, I could call Caitlin and go, Caitlin, your personality and all that. So think about the coaches that you have, guys, those of you that have teams built already. And think about a person that's not going to join in. They're not going to participate with getting people yet, but they're wanting to do the deal and do a 3-day trial. We have to group them with somebody. If you have a couple of choices, think about who to group them with. What personality really lines up well? Every little thing counts here. So the deal is, this is just the whole concept of this. The whole reason I wanted to record this for you guys this morning, is our attitude about how can I figure it out? How can I do it? How can I solve it? How can I help this person? How can I? It doesn't fit the normal mold, but okay, over, under, around, through, right? What would this be? What would be a workable way to help this person as much as I can, as well as keep them aligned with my model and not let them go everywhere. So this is a great solution. First, grab somebody local to you if you can and get that challenger, the 1 out of 3 to 4 that doesn't want to play full out right now, which is fine. They want to play halfway. Let's get them with a group of local. If we can't do that, assign them to a group that's not local, but that may be really good for their personality. So just think about those little things. It doesn't have to be technical or complicated. I go through this in like a microsecond in my mind, right? So once you start doing this, it's very natural, just like the challenge flow itself. So the trick is get as comfortable with the little variables in the process as you are with the process itself. So you have a plan B and a C, pardon me, in your back pocket over here. Most of the time plan A works perfect, but in those rare instances where somebody goes off the reservation, so to speak, off the trail, we can reach around in our tool belt and go, okay, we have a couple of options for you to still help you win, right? So Caitlin, comments on this in terms of how this is going for you and kind of what you think about what I've said as you're working your business day to day with this concept.
So I mean, I love everything you said, and I would definitely say it's true. And I want to validate it with a comment that I got from one of my ladies that I did plug into another group of mine. And she was just not about it. She's like, I don't really know anybody, and it really was I want to test it and see how it goes before I want to talk, because she's since brought me 2 other people. And on the other side of that, immediately following the challenge, she's like, I'm so glad I did. Even though I didn't really participate as much as I probably could have, I was held accountable because I was seeing everybody else posting. I got some new ideas that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And, it was really a great experience for me. So I just really want to, it just validates everything that you just said.
Yeah. And then before we close on this, I always like to think 1 or 2 steps beyond, right? So one of the cool things about this is oftentimes it's kind of like we talk about ambassadors and coaches. And we say, look, the truth is so many of our ambassadors want to be coaches. That's what's true. They want to help other people like they've been helped. They want to have that joy. They'd love to make some extra money if that means they could eat free or, make a little extra for their family. There's so many people. I would conclude, I have concluded, almost every ambassador is really that way. Okay. So what's the problem? Why aren't they acting on it? It's a confidence problem, period. Over and out, which is belief, confidence in themselves, all that stuff. They're holding on to a story that isn't true and isn't serving them, which says, I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. I'm not smart enough. I don't know anything about this. They're letting that win over their desire to really help others like they've been helped. The only reason most of them are not doing it in some capacity is they lack the belief that they could succeed with it, like you've succeeded with them. So if you understand that, if you buy that, I buy that hook, line, and sinker. I've seen it over and over and over. So it's amazing. You pour belief into somebody, what happens, right? It unlocks. You didn't put anything there. It was all right there the whole time. That's why we can't take the credit for people's success. We can only take the credit for putting them on the right path and maybe helping them stay, like bumpers on a bowling thing, We help them stay on the path. But they have to be the ones that roll the ball. They have to be the ones that take the steps down the path. So we're just helping them realize their potential. That's really what we're doing as coaches here. And that starts all the way back as a client maybe to be with the 3-day challenge. So it starts, that process I just described starts all the way at the front end of the model. Okay, that's when their belief is the least. Their belief in you, their belief in the product, their belief in the community. They don't have any tangible results themselves, even if they've seen their friends and family do it. They so what? That hasn't happened to them. They don't believe. They're not over the tipping point yet. So the actual 3-day trial, 3-day challenge community loop, why is that? Why are we winning with this so much? It's because it builds and unleashes, everything that's inside of people. It's just a process over time. Some people sprint, some people walk, some people crawl, some people sit down for a while, on the path. But the reality is we're all just moving them down the path by helping them believe more in their own greatness and what they're capable of, little bit by little bit. And then you go, see, I told you, right? Hey, Mary, you could do this. Oh, no, I don't think so. Well, Mary, I think you'd be great checking people in. You've got a lovely smile. You're always so positive. Just help them put their name on the right list. It's really not that complicated, and I'm short a few people, and I thought of you, Mary. Would you help me out? Well, okay, I will. I don't really know what I'm doing. Mary, you're going to do great. Okay, you train her. She does it. Afterwards, you go, look at this, Mary. Best registration we've ever had. I told you. And she's like, yeah, you did tell me. Feeling pretty good about Mary. One little step up. Okay, and now the next time you ask Mary to do something, she remembers that experience, and she goes, maybe I could do it. Maybe, I don't know. You'd have to show me. I'm a little nervous. But it's less resistance than last time. Why is that? Because she's believing more in herself. Okay, so this is really about development, but I want to show you that this starts right back where Caitlin and I are talking about this morning, which is that initial entry into the model if you're using the 3-day trial, 3-day challenge, which I know we all are. So watch this now. Bum, 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 bum. I've already got Deck the Halls. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Mannheim Steamroller, Deck the Halls. Man, that's my rhythm. Hold on. Donnie, give me a second. I'll call you right back. I'm just finishing with Caitlin. All right. We got more mentoring, more people getting out challenges. Donnie Phillips. Hold on. Let me get rid of this thing. There we go. Okay, so to conclude on this, this is so good because Caitlin, give me a name of a person that was one of those, people that said, I don't really know anybody, I'm not whatever, that you put in with somebody on a challenge. What was an actual name?
Debbie Burton.
Great, Debbie. So isn't it true, watch this, guys. Isn't it true we got Debbie. Debbie was jacked about the 3-day trial and even the challenge. But for whatever reason, she made excuses because she didn't believe, she wasn't willing to go get people in her challenge, right? So you took her and you plunked her into another group? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And so check this out. So the first time, Debbie was not willing. She was willing to start, but she wasn't willing to go gather with us. Even though you told her you'd help her and it was going to be fun and all the benefits, she still had a block and therefore she didn't do it. Right? So that's where she was. We plug her into a challenge. She goes through the 3-day challenge. She ends. Did she get on the 30-day challenge? Did she get on a program, some products?
Yes, she did.
Okay, great. Now, does she have more belief?
Yes.
So not that she did this, but don't you think you would have a high probability of success if you took her through by herself and she started in a place where I'm not willing to get anybody with you? Now we get her results, build a little belief. Don't you think if we tried maybe the next week while she's on her 30-day, she now has people that saw her and are asking her, and so we help her group those people and take them through a challenge together? Don't you think that's highly probable?
Absolutely.
So guys, that's what I want you to get is, people say no, but it really means not yet. Well, in this case, that's really true. Like they may say no, they're saying yes to the trial, yes to the challenge. They love it. But no, I'm not going to go get anybody because I'm scared, I'm afraid, I'm this, I'm that, I don't believe yet, whatever, all those sea of reasons. So we go, no problem, Debbie, let's get you into this group. And then we treat Debbie just like a member of that group naturally. Like we graft her into the vine as fast as possible, get her knowing everybody, get the community going with those challengers. And we give her some belief. And she gets through the deal and she loses a pound or two. She's got energy. She converts over to a program and you go, hey, who was watching you, Debbie? Well, my mom was watching and my husband commented and my girlfriend at work, Jeannie, she said something. Listen, let's build our own challenge with these people. Will you help me? Let's get them all. We'll take them all through as a group instead of one at a time. And we'll do with them what you just did. And now she says, okay, because why? Because she's gone through the process and she's satisfied all of those things that she was worried about. So now she's removed her own obstacles. We just need to circle back around and give her another go. We can't forget that. We can't just go 3-day challenge to 30-day challenge and she never grouped up with anybody other than other people, but she never built a group. Wait a minute, we still got to get her a group so she can pre-qualify for ambassador. So one way or another, we got to get that happening, right? So this is a way where you realize, okay, don't misunderstand when she said no. It was then, but now she's through the process. Wait a minute. Right after that, when she's just getting on her 30-day program or 1 week in, now she's had the challenge or the trial, and then she's had the 1 week. She's had like 10, 12 days on the products. This is almost a 2-week story. You better believe if she's doing it right, she's got people noticing around her what's happening. and they're asking. So our job is to dive into that because she's not a coach. She doesn't know what to do with that. So we got to ask the questions to find out. And it could result in many times her coming back around and actually doing a challenge. So it's like a 2-step to get her there versus the 1-step. So what? That's like saying if it takes 5 years for a guy to make pres team and 7 years for this girl to make president's team, in the end, at the end of 7 years, who cares? You got 2 president's team members. Trust me, the guy or the girl that took 2 years longer, it won't make a bit of difference at that point. You know what I mean? So don't forget to come back around. So Caitlin, this is great. Anything else you want to share before we stop the recording?
Nope.
All right. You look like you're in heaven right now.
I know it's this.
All right, guys. So that's the 3-day challenge training for you right up front, top of the morning to you. Let's have a great day. 1 week to go, EOM. Happy Thanksgiving, and let's go December 1, EOM.